What were your expectations coming into this class?
Well, I actually thought most of us would flunk out of it. The thought of coming to a University of Washington honors class I thought was pretty lofty to think that we'd be coming from community college areas and still be able to maintain pull our weight, basically, have something to offer to the class.
How have your expectations been met or changed since starting the class?
I realized that we can do it, and I think the important lesson I took from it was if given the opportunities, a lot of people will succeed, and a lot of the people coming out of prison continue to get in trouble because they're not given the opportunity to make a better life. Granted, some people will go back no matter what, but they're throwing a lot of people back into prison over and over again that merely out of they have no other options, than to sell drugs or something because they can't get a job, they can't get housing, they have no education, and education system's really flawed in that the way they fund schooling depends on the socioeconomics of the neighborhoods, and you'll see the people in prison, the overwhelming majority are poor. So that speaks to the schooling that they're getting or not getting, and not having that education reinforced every step of the way as middle to upper class kids do. It's just a self perpetuating cycle. They believe they're not good at school either, so they don't try to go to college. They don't try to graduate high school, and they're learning what's being modeled for them. What's being modeled at school is not important. Making money fast for the family is, and when you don't have schooling, there's usually only one or two ways to make that money.
So, for you, how has education kind of changed all that, and specifically about this class?
Um, it really clarified some of those issues, especially when I read through all of the Harvard essays that everybody wrote. Um, it was real clear when you looked at the Harvard essays that came from the University of Washington students. Their families were supportive of education. That was a priority. It was emphasized. It was a given that they were going to graduate high school and go to college. So your child is going to pretty much follow along with that. And once they've been told they're good, they're good, they're good at this, this is a necessary thing, odds are it's going to happen. Then I was looking at the post-prison education students' essays, and it was the complete opposite, where that was not emphasized every step of the way. They went to poorer schools, teachers didn't care, buildings are run down, there's no pride in education, and it's no surprise that they don't pursue their education. They don't believe it's anything they're good at. They feel stupid. They feel held down in the world, and sometimes that just leads to them becoming rebellious and getting in trouble. So I was most taken with the separation between the two, and I think the most important thing is they have to find a way to even that out, where funding for every school is the same, and the quality of teachers is the same, and the opportunities are the same. I'd like to see kids that used to not be given the opportunity to go travel abroad, to go do community service work, all of the things that the upper income students get. They get the study abroad chance. There's so much you learn during those times, and from other people and cultures that I'd really like to see the financial support of schools be leveled out. I think that would make a huge difference in this world. There would be a large number of people that wouldn't be left behind that are left behind now.
And what are your biggest hopes for this class?
Definitely that it's going to continue. I know projects that we've started are not just projects that end when the quarter ends. I'd like to see this become a model for other schools as well to institute their own, because my biggest hope is by coming here and meeting all of the UW students, the faculty, the speakers, some minds have been changed about what someone from prison is capable of or like, and opening their eyes to a lot of the practices and policies and injustices that are going on in the criminal justice system. We're talking about these are the future leaders, these are the future policy makers, the future community activists that can change things. The people here at University of Washington have that in. They're in those circles where they can make huge differences for people. So I would like to see it impact the UW people more than the post-prison. We're already impacted. This is huge for us. There's no if and or but about it. But I want to see it enlighten people who did not know what really goes on, so that they can have that conversation with someone else. So when they're voting for somebody, they're gonna think about these issues when they're discussed. So that's my biggest hope.
Well, what's the biggest thing you've taken from this class?
That if you are honest with other people and really open up and let them see who you are and what you're capable of, that they will give you a chance. I've been amazed at the friendships I've made, the people I've met through here, and I feel accepted in a way I never would have expected before. This feels like a safe place to be. And I took for me, it was more of a confidence thing for me, because the first day I thought I was going to throw up. I was so nervous. I'm like, I can't do this. There's no way I can go to school at the University of Washington and, be on the same level as these kids who are, rocket scientists and all of those. And when I found out how open you guys were to hearing the full story before making any judgments, I was really pleased with that. And the stereotypes that the honor students had about us, it was predictable to me, but I didn't realize the stereotypes that some of us had about them as well. And it helped me to look at myself as well and realize that I might be just as guilty of making judgments about other people that I have not met. So it really helped me put that into focus to better myself and be just as open to other people.